So price says a lot, right?
Yeah.
You can buy these
Yeah.
for $380,000. There's 18 unit. It can be $800 a door. It could be.
It's not.
It's not. This is the Roughneck Real Estate Podcast. I got my buddy Ken Walls here. Met him on the social medias 2015-ish. Whenever I started my journey in entrepreneurship, Ken Walls was one of the noisy people on social media. Seen the other day, he moved to Dallas. I invited him over, said, hey, we've never met in real life. This might be a little creepy, but you want to come over to Richardson and do some podcasts? And he said, yeah. When's a good time for you? I said, you picked the time, I got the place, and now here we are.
Dude, I was a little creeped out. I was like, where am I going? I don't know Dallas. Like, what the heck?
It's like, here's an address.
I know. I was like, what is going on?
So,
no, it's good.
What do you think of the setup?
It's awesome, man. I love it.
So,
I love it.
How's Dallas? How long have you been in Dallas now?
November 5th, like 3 weeks.
Yeah. Dude, so we got you right as you hit the ground running.
It's been a long time coming, though, man. My most of my network is here. Like, it's crazy.
Is that what inspired the move?
Yeah, that, and I lived in Ohio. I mean,
I mean, we'll just leave it at that.
Leave it right there. Yeah.
I met some girls from Ohio on a vacation in Miami.
Yeah.
Nice ladies.
Yeah.
Nice ladies.
Yeah.
But anyways, so you're in Texas now.
Yeah.
Tell the Roughneck Real Estate audience like what it is you do. You're going to help me write a book.
Yeah.
I think Braxton picked the title. Tell me what you think. Might be a little too much, but he wants to name it From Cocaine to Apartments.
I love it.
I've never actually done cocaine. So
well, then you can't do that.
He said it should just be memoirs.
Oh, my God. No.
He said it should just be memoir stories. Because he knows most of my stories. He says it should just be stories in nonsensical order. Like,
yeah, but not if you didn't do cocaine. Like,
yeah, that's stolen cocaine valor.
Hey, well, hold it. Maybe we could get you to do some cocaine
and then write a book.
So it would be Apartments to Cocaine.
Yeah, the Wolf of Texas or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. It would be fun though, because it's like just
the title is important. The title's important.
Is the title important?
Well, only if you want to sell books. I mean, I'm going to be real. Like when I wrote my first book, Grant Cardone inspired me to do it. And I have a video, it's somewhere, of Grant in a swimming pool in Los Angeles going, Ken Walls, hey, I heard your first book came out, man. Congratulations. And I'm like, wow.
Did you take that,
yeah,
rip it out, and use it for the push to sell the book?
I use him like a hoe. Like anytime he says my name, like I rip it out and use it.
That's awesome.
But my first book, when I wrote it, I was like, I honestly don't care if anybody ever buys it. Single copy. I truly didn't care.
Really?
I did not care. And it's interesting, and you know this about life. When you obsess, there's a great book that I've read many times called Power versus Force. And I'm telling him to save that because I'm gonna want to read that book. You might want to do some cocaine before you read it. No, I'm kidding. But it's a very deep book. It's about kinesiology, which is muscle testing, and but he says in there that anytime we try to force something, we automatically create resistance universally, right?
This is true.
Create resistance. If I push against you, you're going to push back.
That's right.
Real power, and this goes back even into the ancient studies of martial arts, real power comes from surrender. So if I am coming at you and you like, tense up and you're creating resistance, and bad things can happen. Probably more to me. You're
Right.
bigger than me, and much younger, and sure more agile. But
Probably not,
but if you just like let me go by, then so it comes from the surrender. When I said I don't give a crap if anybody buys this book, I did a little 6-hour live stream when my book launched on October the 6th of 2017, and it hit #1 on Amazon
Wow.
in that period of time. So, and I just didn't care though. I really didn't. I mean, I did, but I didn't. I don't even know if that makes sense, but I didn't care about it. I just wanted to join the ranks of people that had written a book.
And now you're in there. Got 8 books.
I've written and co-authored. I've authored and co-authored 8 books. Working on the 9th with a. You want to hear the title of my newest book coming out? It's freaking awesome. So I had this lady on my podcast, my show.
What is that called?
Breakthrough Walls. I got a story about that.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in a minute. So I had this lady on. She's a psychiatrist or a psychologist, and she's in Connecticut.
Okay.
Love this woman's energy. She's amazing. So she says, I want to write a book with you. And I said, okay, let's do it. Because I'd say yes. Like you asked me if I'd,
Yes.
I never met you in person, never been
right.
to wherever we are.
We're in a dungeon.
Yeah. Well, but I've never, and screw it. Let's go. So, I came up with the book title. It's called Premeditated Alibis. So for example, if I said to you, Corey, you need to write a book, let's go. It's $5,000, whatever,
Yeah.
10 grand, 20, 100 grand, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Because as Grant says, the numbers are all made up anyway, right?
Right.
Immediately your brain starts making up all the reasons why you can't do it. Immediately. We all do it. They're premeditated alibis. And it's not even something that's original. Somebody else taught you to do that shit. Am I allowed? I just swore I don't.
No, it's fine.
Okay.
We're a kid-friendly podcast. And
Okay.
all my kids cuss. Not today.
So, but yeah, anyway, so it's about, helping people stop making up alibis. I moved to Texas, man. There's no rhyme or reason in the world for me to move to Dallas. Like there's no,
It's a pretty good spot, though.
I mean, it is. It's awesome. I love it here. It's 76 degrees today, y'all.
It is.
Notice how I said y'all? Did I say it right?
You're acclimated.
Yeah.
It is an amazing day. So premeditated alibis.
Yep.
We had a conversation down in the lobby about a book. I gave him all my premeditated alibis.
He did. They weren't very good, but
No, they weren't. But I wasn't squirming around. He hadn't even told me the price. I wasn't squirming at the price. I was just like,
I know.
I was just physically thinking about having to write a book. I was like,
It's not the price. It's not money.
it's not a money. If I could hire somebody to write a book, that's
Yeah. Yeah.
I can hire you to help me write a book.
Yeah.
Well, I actually have to take out a pen and put it to paper.
No, not
Then
once.
I'm in.
Do you have a laptop? iPad?
Whoa, hold on.
iPhone?
Yes.
Okay.
I have all of these things,
Okay, good.
but I don't use them very often. Braxton, you met Braxton down
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Braxton laughs. He's like, Corey knows how to fill out a contract. Watch. Corey, how do you fill out a contract? I'm like, Braxton, fill out a contract.
I know.
It's like, that's it.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not. I'm with you, dude.
it's like, I don't, I mean, yeah, I know how to do that. Like, hey, the other day, my baby mama number 2 is like, I want you to go get this TV from my house and bring it over to your house. And I'm like, no problem. I got it. I called DJ, kid that works for us. I'm like, DJ, go get this TV. She's like, you can't do that. I'm like, I just did that. And she's like, no, you have to go get the TV. I'm like, I'm not going to get that TV.
Ain't gonna happen.
You can give DJ your keys and he'll get the TV. Well, the TV's not coming over. Like,
Right.
I mean, it's just, I'm not moving TVs. It's not because I'm too good to. I'm 38.
Yeah.
DJ's 22. I don't know how big this TV is. I don't know what it weighs.
Yeah.
I'm not throwing my back out moving a TV that DJ's already got to make a check this week.
And right, and your net worth is probably a little higher
Than DJ's for sure.
and who wants to risk that, right? So yeah.
I guess it's a principled thing.
I get it.
When a woman asks you to do something, you know what I mean? It's like, you have to be the one that does it. I'm like, it won't be me.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so
I
I
get
get
it.
it. So if I can hire you to write a book,
Yeah.
anybody out there that's watching,
You wouldn't be hiring me, by the way.
but we'd be hiring.
I'm like you. I have
Yeah.
my wife. She's brilliant. So
That's
yeah,
good.
She's
But
brilliant.
If
yeah.
people want to write a book,
Yep.
they go to kenwalls.com, or where would they go?
KenWalls.com, Ken'sBizCard.com, that I just showed you.
Yep.
Ken'sBizCard.com on your phone. Is
Do you want to demonstrate that again?
You can
On camera?
No, well, no, that's
nah.
not. But
You just go to Ken'sBizCard.com and it literally pops up. You can text me right from there.
That's
There's
good.
a little form on there that you can get a free copy of one of my best ebooks is called 100 Live Stream Secrets and Ideas. And if you fill out that little form, it's a little form on my business card. Fill that out, you automatically get a text message.
Okay.
Unless you live in Mexico or somewhere else.
with laws against text messaging, probably, or something.
I don't know. I haven't honestly figured out how to text globally on there, so I will, but I haven't yet. So
Well, texting, I got a whole bunch of stories about texting. We got sued by a guy for texting.
what?
There's scam artists out there,
Oh yeah,
and what they try to shake you down over
Yeah.
a text message. And I mean, he called us, left us a voicemail, told him to text him if it's easier. We text him. He sues us for texting him. Didn't know how to do a lawsuit properly. Didn't serve the registered agent. He served the person. Anyways, we just knew he was a clown from day one.
wow.
So we took the lawsuit.
He literally filed a lawsuit in court.
In Texas, it's in the JP court because he don't have real damages.
Oh.
He's like trying to shake you down for a $500 settlement. So the cheap route is to pay this guy $500 to go away,
Yeah.
and that's it.
Did you do it?
Hell no.
I was gonna say.
Hell no. We paid our attorney, and we said, deal with this.
Yeah.
And filed motions to transfer.
Yeah.
Filed for a summary motion to dismiss. I mean, went through the whole process, and he had responses to all of it, but he's citing case law out of Wisconsin and all this
Yeah.
nonsense, just nonsensical nonsense.
Yeah.
And we're in the JP court in my hometown. Like, I hauled hay for the JP. You know what I mean? It's like, what do you think's about to happen, my guy? He's a
shyster. Does he watch the show?
I hope. He's a professor from Austin,
Oh, geez.
and
Yeah.
so it's like he's on when you pull up the different lawsuits that he's already done, you can see that he's
got a pattern.
He's a litigator,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
this is going to end it. It's going to stop it dead in his trails because he's about to end up with a summary judgment against him.
Wow.
He tried to withdraw the day before we were supposed to go to trial. And so the judge don't like that. So we were like, you can dismiss his claims, but you can't dismiss ours.
Yeah.
So we're going to get a summary judgment against him for our attorney's fees, which isn't a lot of money. It's $6,500. But now whenever he goes to sue you for texting,
Yeah.
you're going to see my summary judgment for $6,500,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you're going to go, well, this guy's a clown.
Well, I actually would handle it a different way, but
Well,
we probably
yeah,
shouldn't.
Yeah, but
I'm kidding.
It's
Kidding.
but that's the kind of stuff that comes in the neighborhood of texting.
Yeah.
Um,
I text. I use a text messaging platform every day. People opt in, and
people opt in, and
when they opt in, they're in. They
That's
sue me.
right.
It takes 3 seconds to show that.
it does. And
Yeah.
and I've when
Yeah.
when that happened to us, we started a nonprofit,
Yeah.
and we're like, all of the business that's conducted via text will be done through the nonprofit.
Yeah.
Because nonprofits are exempt to texting laws as long as you identify yourself and everything else. And we want a nonprofit, need
Yeah.
a nonprofit. We donated $80,000 to a great cause this year. Some houses, wildfires happened in West Texas.
Yeah.
We donated $80,000 to the local church out there.
Wow.
But we could have done more if we'd had a nonprofit. simply because we would have been able to done some raffles and stuff
Yeah.
on our own,
Yeah.
to raise money that we can't do legally by Texas law if we don't have a nonprofit. So we already started that, but then once we realized that
Yeah.
that nonprofit's going to be exempt from texting laws, as long as we identify ourselves as a nonprofit, we're like, from now on, all text marketing will happen through the nonprofit.
Wow.
So,
Even for your regular business though, or
well, our regular business. So this is the beautiful part about the nonprofit. Our when we're texting to buy a house, right? Let's say we send a text message out, say, "Hey, I'm Corey. We're with the R2R Foundation. We'd like to buy your house at such and such address."
got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's a cold text message.
Yeah.
Okay. I identified myself. I identified the foundation. I did the things to be exempt in the cold marketing laws. And they said, yes, absolutely. We'd like to sell our house.
Mm-hmm.
That nonprofit can do business outside of it. So we can assign that deal to our house buying entity. So the nonprofit would contract it.
Wow.
And then it would be assigned to the business that's going to buy the house for a donation to the nonprofit. So the
Wow.
nonprofit can actually do work, but now it will actually generate revenue. And then we will take that revenue from that we make with the nonprofit,
Wow.
and we will go do so the things that we want to do, like in our core mission for the nonprofit, is like when a tornado comes through Northeast Texas, not through a major metroplex. When something happens in a major metroplex, the whole world shows up.
Yeah,
But when it
right.
happens to a town that nobody's heard of
Right.
in rural Texas, nobody shows up except the
Right.
neighbors.
Yeah.
We're going to take our equipment and stuff up there, and we're going to help clean them up. We're going to help. We're licensed mobile home dealers. We're going to install, help them get homes, help them get
Wow.
their life set back up, furniture, whatever it is. We'll be able to do that with the nonprofit, and it will alleviate the. We already do it. We already help people out. We had a couple of Christmases ago. We had a family lost their home. We donated a mobile home to them.
Wow.
But it's a nightmare to do
Yeah.
without a nonprofit. With a nonprofit, it's easy peasy.
That's awesome.
You know,
dude.
so you'll be able to do it. So we already do it with the means we have to be able to do it, which will grow over time. I mean, but it also it connects you to your purpose. I showed you a picture of me and my son and some equipment, you know, taking him along and saying, hey, why are we here, Dad? We're here helping people out. We're going to get it out and we're going to run a chainsaw for a little while. We're going to load some trees up. We're going to clean up some people's land. We're going to drop a trailer house here.
So awesome.
And they're going to have a life again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why we're here today. Well, you know, whose money we're doing? Well, Ken made a donation to the nonprofit.
Yeah.
Susan made a donation to the nonprofit. We're using their money to help put people's lives back together. We're using our time, their money. It's a good deal.
So awesome. So awesome.
But you can help write a book. What's some other core functions of your business? So me and you became friends online through a lot of weird channels. We know a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
Met some of them in real life. Some of them we haven't.
Yeah.
But you've packed up, moved your business down here.
Yeah.
Got a mastermind coming up.
Turn it up.
Turn it up, mastermind.
I have Glenn Morshower, very famous actor.
Okay.
My best friend. He's freaking unbelievable. In fact, are you a gamer? I'm not, but
I would be.
Okay.
In my next life.
If you had more time.
Yeah.
So the new Call of Duty Modern Warfare that's out.
Okay.
He's the main general in that. Like,
Really?
oh yeah, he's like well known. If your guy can search Google for Glenn Morshower and pop it up on your fancy screen there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's two N's in his first name, Glenn Morshower. But anyway, so Glenn and I did a show for about a year together online called The Ken and Glenn Show. And then a Hall of Fame speaker friend of mine was in the comments one night. His name's Scott McCain. There's Glenn.
Awesome.
Click on images there, and you'd recognize him.
I do recognize him.
Yeah, he lives here in Dallas.
Really?
Yeah, not far from where we're sitting, actually.
He's in Star Trek.
He was in Star Trek. He was Agent Aaron Pierce in the TV show 24. He was just in the final season of Ozark.
Dude, that's
as
awesome.
the head of the FBI, and he's freaking amazing. Like, he's just amazing. He's out in some part of Texas right now shooting a movie out in I
Texas.
forget. It's East Texas, but anyway, he's out there right now. I might I might be going out there here in the next week or two to visit
that's
him on
awesome.
set. But so he introduced me and another guy named Craig Duswalt, and Craig toured the world with Guns N' Roses for 4.5 years.
You were telling me about
Yeah.
him.
And he was with Air Supply for 7 years before that.
Okay.
And so Craig and I have become really good friends. And we were talking one day, and he's like, dude, we should do something together. We should do a mastermind or something. Because we both have our own individual masterminds. I have the Grow Live Academy that we meet every Thursday night. And I have billionaire friends come in and teach, and other very famous people that come into the Grow Live calls. Glenn's in there almost every week. But so I have that. He has his called Rock Your Life Marketing or something. I always get the name of it wrong. It's like Rockstar Marketing.
Okay.
And so we're like, let's join forces. So we did, and we created it's a high level mastermind. Like I told you about Hua, this lady named Hua, and her husband is Jaime. They have $430 million or something like that in real estate assets.
And they live here in Dallas.
They live here in Dallas. They're optometrists. They're both in our Turn It Up mastermind. We had somebody fly their private plane in, an attorney out of Houston, and her partner they came in, and so it's a high level. It's 25 grand to be a part of our mastermind, and it includes one retreat, which we rent 2 mansions in Florida and Orlando. It's freaking amazing, dude. Like, like, you ever heard of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus?
I have heard of that book.
That's Dr. John Gray, who's a friend of mine.
I think somebody tried to get me to read that book one time to save a relationship.
Yeah.
I didn't read it, so I'm stubborn like that. That's the resistance thing you were talking about earlier.
Right. Yeah, I
It's
get
like
it.
the power versus force.
I get it. I get it.
you.
No, so John Gray was there. He lives out in California. He flew in.
Okay.
Dude, he's been on Oprah like 18 times, and like he's unbelievable. But he was there. James Barber, the Phantom of the Opera.
Gotcha.
He was there, did a private concert for everybody. We limited to 30 members in the mastermind. Or in the retreat itself. It includes a year-long mastermind and all of that. But had Lee Steinberg, the #1 sports agent in the world. Jerry Maguire.
I was about to say, I was like, Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, he's a friend of mine now, and he was there, and he's Patrick Mahomes' agent.
Dude, Patrick Mahomes is from White House, Texas.
Is he really?
Might be where
I didn't know that.
Might be where your friend's Glenn's out shooting. It's East Texas.
No,
Tyler. No, we'll continue guessing towns later. I've got a lot of real estate out there.
I have a friend that lives out there. It's in the same town.
It's is it a Longview?
Yes,
Okay,
Longview.
there
That's
you go.
it. Yeah,
We own some apartments there.
Do you really?
Not very nice, but they're there. You could own them, Matt. As a matter of fact.
Are you a slumlord or?
Well, no.
I'm just kidding.
So price says a lot, right?
Yeah.
You can buy these
Yeah.
for $380,000. There's 18 units. That's so.
What's
now,
the rents?
it can be $18 or $800 a door. It could be.
It's not.
It's not yet. We deal in very distressed assets.
Okay.
So we haven't undistressed these yet. We've bought them.
Do you have tenants?
Oh yeah. They're cash flow positive right now,
Wow.
but they're going to need all the love. I'll tell you a work order we got. So a work order is when somebody has problems,
Yeah.
and they were like, I don't remember what the problem was, but they were having a problem.
Yeah.
And so they submit this work order, and they're like, they submit this work order. It's something like, hey, I need this fixed because my parole officer. And I was like, all right.
That's yeah.
And so anyways, I was like, okay. We probably fixed it. I would assume we fixed it because it's a reasonable request. You know what I mean? It was a reasonable. It's very reasonable that we don't want you to go back to prison. You can't pay us rent if you're in prison.
Right.
But that's the tenant base that's there
Wow.
at the moment. And highly distressed assets, Class B location.
Yeah.
But highly distressed.
So like you have to carry to like
The method on that is, as long as it's cash flow positive, you let it ride while you get your bulletproof plan in place. So we're starting a fund.
Yeah.
We're putting it together. Matter of fact, in my email, I had certificates of organization on that.
Wow.
Raising $5 million. What we'll end up doing is we'll end up selling that to the fund at basis, and then letting the fund reap the benefits of the turnaround on that. Because what'll end up happening is after we get those 18 units remodeled and stabilized, they'll be worth 1.4.
Wow.
And our cost basis will be 570, 580. So it's $1 million.
So you can almost triple your.
Yes.
Wow.
On the exit.
Yeah.
Got to exit in a better economy than we're in now.
Yeah.
Which is why we got the distressed units in this economy. Now's the time to buy.
Yeah.
People get it really confused. The hot market, you can make money fast.
Yeah.
But this economy that we're venturing into, you'll be able to buy real estate at a heavy, heavy discount.
Yeah.
And sell it in a better economy. You just got to find a tenant to.
People don't realize that it's cyclical like that.
Yeah, you just got to find a tenant in the meantime.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. So most people want the quick money. Quick money. You got a friend that he's flipping houses. He said everything slowed down.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm meeting with him today.
Yeah. He'll if he has any inventory that won't sell, all he needs is a tenant and weather the storm to a better day.
Yep.
And we talk about it in here almost every week. Don't sell at a loss if you can rent. If you can rent and be cash flow positive, just have enough patience. GBT Property Management will manage it for you. Just have enough patience to ride it out. I don't think the government's got the stomach to stick with this interest rate environment, but we will see.
I just heard this morning that they're talking. Was it maybe from Grant? I don't know about that. They're talking about softening the. Which they,
what
we could get into a whole.
Yeah, we can unpack a can of worms. But your mastermind, year long, $25,000.
Yeah, well, it's 15 grand per person, 25 for a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
High level. Has it already taken place? You already went to Orlando?
We had one in October. We're having another one in March.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's turnitumm.com is which is mastermind. But yeah, and we have a training platform that everybody gets access to as well, and all this stuff, and unlimited access to me and Craig, not our underlings.
Yeah.
It's important to know that because I won't mention any names, but there's other gurus out there that you join their mastermind and you don't get them. You get their underlings, you get other coaches, and with us, you get us.
That's the hustle.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm in the online space, but the real estate market is. I call them influencers now. I don't even call them gurus anymore.
Yeah.
Because people got so popular for making money in a hot real estate market, that literally anybody can make money in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. But they don't own any real estate, but they're really panicking right now is what they're doing, but they're just holding it in very well.
Well, I guess the other option is the Bitcoin.
Well, Bitcoin, and that's
I don't get that.
I'm not
get it.
The FTX thing.
Yeah.
They wanted me to make a video on FTX because it's topical and whatever. And I'm like, guys, I'd have to figure out. I don't know what blockchain is.
Neither do I.
I don't know what the technology is. I don't know why it's good or bad. I never saw the benefit of it because it's not in Groesbeck, Texas, which is where I am, and I'm in a small town. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I once stored a bunch of pictures on a hard drive and stored the hard drive wrong and lost all the pictures.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that with money? I don't think so. I don't know about that. I don't know about that one.
I mean, I heard it's been tanking. I don't know much about it either. I listen to people smarter than me. Grant Cardone, my buddy Rami El Batrawi is a billionaire, and they both said, don't touch that. So,
Well, I was like, I couldn't figure it out. I don't know what it is. I haven't done the research. I don't have the bandwidth
yeah,
to consume it because my brain doesn't work in a technical manner. You make websites.
yeah.
You understand websites.
But I don't understand the blockchain.
I don't understand blockchain. I don't understand websites.
We're going to get all kinds of comments on this.
Yeah, they're going to be mad, but it's
don't
okay.
don't be mad. I mean, I'm not. Look, I have a buddy that lives here. He's in Fort Worth. He's very famous, Ron White.
Mm-hmm.
He's the U.S. memory champion. He's all about the Bitcoin, and you know,
it is what it is. I'm not.
yeah.
I don't know enough about it, but they want to make a video about FTX, and so I ended up in a bunch of FTX drama. And
what is FTX?
FTX is that fraud dude that stole everybody's money.
Oh.
They leveraged.
Oh wow!
They leveraged all their assets. So it's pretty interesting. Whenever I dove into it, how that works.
Yeah.
So they just leveraged. They borrowed money against, other people's money a bunch.
Yeah.
Kind of like what a bank does, but
yeah,
just a little different. Just a little different. But it didn't work out.
They do that.
It didn't work out. But
right.
So it went south on them.
Yeah.
But when I was doing that, I realized there was a big dust up in the guru space and the influencer space.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people they were paying big guys with, like, if you had 5 million followers or 5 million subscribers on YouTube, they're paying $50,000 an ad. Like,
wow.
Could you imagine making an ad and getting $50,000?
That's crazy.
Like on your live stream, your daily live stream, you're like,
wow.
Oh yeah, go buy some Bitcoin on FTX. Cha-ching, cha-ching. And so,
how do I get into that? Because I'll do that.
Yeah, they're having
wow.
a big dust up, and they're arguing amongst themselves.
Wow.
About why they didn't see all the red flags and why this and why that. But these are all people that were like stock market gurus and like financial gurus and like. But I'm not going to call them gurus anymore because I'm just going to call them influencers, because it seems to me if there was a big fraud there, and a lot of people, there's another bunch of financial people that have content out from 7-8 months ago that are like, FTX is a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
Here's why. Here's how this thing works.
Yeah.
And they spelled out exactly what's going on. And anyways, long story short, if somebody approaches you with $50,000 an ad, like, it's you're gonna probably end up eating crow if it don't go well. But at the same time, it's like you got to ask yourself, well, where's the money come from? You know what I mean?
I don't. Yeah,
if I'm a financial, I'm on there telling you how to trade stocks and crypto and this and that, and somebody offers you $50,000 for a spot that you normally get $6,000 for. You know what I mean? You're going to have to ask yourself, well, how's that money work? And one of the things that they were pushing was an 8%, like an 8% return for storing your money in this deal. Where can you get 8% just putting money in?
That's crazy.
Like a savings account that pays 8%. So
wow,
you should, if you're in that financial guru space, you should dig a little deeper, scratch the surface, and look below and meet with them. But they didn't do it. They took the money, and so now they're all arguing amongst themselves because there's a big pushback forth. As I see that, I think about the entire education space and how it gets really tribal from time to time.
Yeah.
But there's some exposure there if you're out pushing bad things onto people, which is why that lawsuit, like they sued Tom Brady of all people. I don't know
what
who
Tom
it was.
do.
Well, Tom pushed FTX. Supposedly Tom and Giselle had $650 million in FTX that they lost. So I don't see Tom and Giselle Bundchen putting their entire nest egg into that, but they promoted it. The stadium down in the Miami Heat stadium down there, was named after FTX. FTX had a big push on all the Super Bowl commercials. So the way the arguing and finger pointing's going is, well, all these other people were promoting it as well.
So it's gone. It's defunct.
It's over.
I didn't know that. Yeah,
It's
okay. So 15 years ago, 15 maybe. I turned off the TV. I don't watch the news. It's not allowed in my house.
I don't have TV.
I have TVs. I just don't watch.
I don't watch the news either.
Yeah, I don't, and I don't. I have this weird filter in my
What you
head.
allow in?
Like even scrolling through social media, man, and you know this, like you see some real crap, man. It's like I don't like
The trash can.
I don't want to. I don't want to infect my energy with that. Like that's important.
It is very important.
So
The FTX thing was
I don't know anything about it. It's the first I've ever heard of it.
that's amazing.
It's
But
unbelievable. Like it sounds like it's kind of big.
the government's got its fingers in it too.
Oh well, of course.
So it seems like it was allowed to happen. That if they give you enough rope, they'll hang yourself.
Oh yeah.
It seems like the old gov said, you know what?
Let them
Roll on out there. That way we can get some good, meaningful legislation passed to keep the small man protected. And you all know how that goes. So
yes, yeah.
To me, like I agree with you. Like, but we're in the content creation deal.
Yeah.
and being topical, and being able to talk about it to get a video to hopefully get some attention. But I did
give
all
this man some attention.
I did the research. I did the research, but I was like, I still don't know what a Bitcoin is. So I don't know what it is.
Did you ever see The Wolf of Wall Street?
I did.
So remember when Matthew McConaughey said it's a fugazi? He's like, you mean a fugazi? It's made up, and I think that even when you're talking about like the price of a book or the what's it take? I know people that charge $50,000 to $100,000. Very well-known super authors that are elite authors that if you want their name on your book, it's $100,000.
Really?
Yeah, just to write a little blurb about Corey is awesome. You should buy this book. It's $100,000.
Robert Kiyosaki, you know his price? Grant Cardone? What's it take?
Well, Grant's
going to be a little higher.
Grant's I know Grant's pricing very well. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I don't the space though. What sucks about any space is whenever one bad person, it makes the resistance. It's that power. It makes it harder to push into a marketplace.
I've been in website development for 28 years, and I did. You want to hear a good story about Grant?
I do.
So back in 2014, Todd Straw he runs Grant's sales department now.
Okay.
Todd is a buddy of mine. I know Jared. I know his wife. Mm-hmm. I built Jared and his wife's website, as a matter of fact. But, so I was sitting in Columbus, Ohio, and I said, okay, law enforcement buddy of mine calls me. Hey, this dude needs a job. Will you give him a job? He's a friend of mine. I'm like, what's he do? And he was a sniper in the Marines. And I'm like, bro, I don't need anybody killed right now. Like, what do you want? What am I supposed to do with this dude? Like, and he's like, well, can you put him in sales? And I'm like, can he sell? And probably not, but he can learn. And okay, let me interview the guy. I felt, I'm a patriot. I like support the military, and I thought, bring this guy in, and he's a bodybuilder, little dude, like funnier than hell. And I said, so do you have any experience selling? And he's like, no, but his personality, I'm like, all right, fine. You know what? Let me give you $500 a week, and I'll, for a while you get trained. Let me find some Zig Ziglar or Brian Tracy training or something. So I go to YouTube, search sales training, and guess who pops up?
Grant.
Everywhere. Grant. I'm like, I've never even heard of this dude. Who is this guy, man? He's freaking nuts. And so I call this phone number to check out the Cardone University. And I get a phone call back. Todd Straw calls me, brand new with Grant's company. Brand new. I was his very first deal, actually. With Grant. I was his very first deal. And so Todd's closing, wanting me to spend $1,000 a month. And I'm like, it's for one freaking little sniper dude. Well,
Yeah.
I'm not spending $1,000 a month. I had a little business back then. I'm not spending $1,000 a month. I can barely make payroll most weeks. I'm not giving you $1,000 a week. And so Steve Spray
Gets on.
calls me because I said enough. I said okay, but then they sent me a 3-year contract. He didn't tell me about the 3 years, and I'm like, "This is, you know what?"
No,
and I said,
I've been there.
"Yeah." So Steve calls me. Steve's been there. Like, I don't even know if he's been there as long as Todd at that point. But anyway, he says, "Hey, this is Steve Spray. I'm a manager here, or whatever, with Cardone." I said, "Okay." He's like, we want to work this out with you. You need it. We have a product. And they, long story short, they closed me.
Yeah.
So a few weeks go by. It's awesome, by the way. Cardone University,
Yeah.
it's freaking unbelievable. And so I start thinking, I'm watching Grant on Periscope, and I was an Android guy, by the way.
Got an iPhone?
I got an iPhone just so I could watch Grant. That's how obsessed. And I'm sure you're the same, right?
Well,
I
yeah.
became obsessed. Like, I get this guy's energy and what he's teaching is unbelievable.
Yep.
So I go and I I'm looking on. I'm like, I got to get to know Grant. Like, I want to be on his radar.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just got to get to know him. And so I called Todd. I go, bro, I was searching sales training on Google, and Grant doesn't pop up anywhere. And I can help him with that. I do SEO. And he goes, okay. I go, so can you transfer me over to Grant? And he goes, no. And I go, why? He goes, I can't do that. I'll get fired. I said, dude, transfer me to Grant. He goes, I'm not transferring you to Grant. I'll get fired.
Damn.
I said, bro, I spend $1,000 a month with you guys.
Yeah.
he says, no offense, dude, but Grant could drop $1,000 on the ground and not even care to stop and pick it up.
Yeah.
And I go, how's that not supposed to be offensive? That was offensive, man. Like, it's still $1,000. Anyway, he said, I can't. Sorry, you're going to have to figure out another way to get on his radar. So I'm like, okay. So I built this website for this woman that owns a wine company. She makes custom bottles of wine. I had my designer, my graphic designer, I said, hey, dude, I need you to make a label with Grant and Elena and the kids on it and put for these wine bottles I'm having made for Grant. So I had 2 bottles of those expensive wine with that label. I heard it sucked. I don't drink, but I heard the wine was horrible. But anyway,
Well, all wine's horrible.
So
keep going.
Yeah, I don't disagree. But anyway, so had this these 2 beautiful bottles of wine made up, and I'm sitting there. They're in this styrofoam packing to ship to Grant, right? My assistant's standing across from my desk, and I'm sitting there going, okay, we're going to ship this, overnight it. It's Thursday. He'll have it Friday morning. He'll call me. Perfect plan. And then I thought, he wears a lot of white shirts. What if these bottles broke in transit and he opens it and freaking wine goes everywhere? And
So you delivered it yourself.
that's not how I want to get on his radar, right? So I'm like, I have appointments and my daughter, I was picking her up for the weekend, and I can't do it. And she goes, I'll do it. She's 20 years old. I said, you're too young. She goes, no, I can put it in my check bag and I'll deliver it. And I said, perfect. Put her on a plane. I said, you have to be at the airport literally in 1 hour. Go home, get your stuff, and go get ready, and the sniper's going to take you to the airport, which he did. So Grant, it's a long story. Grant's late the next day. I call Todd. I'm like, dude, where's Grant? My girl's in your lobby. It was when they were in this bank building. And he goes, well, sometimes they don't come in on Fridays. I'm like, bro, you could have told me that before I just dropped $2,000 I didn't have to,
Get this wine.
So he ends up coming in. He calls me, and I thought it was Todd calling me because he calls me from Todd's cell phone. And I answer the phone. I'm like, yeah, bro, because I'm pissed off at this point. Like, Grant's not coming in. I didn't know he showed up. Nobody let me know. And I hear, is this Ken Walls? I go, oh my God, Grant. And he goes, dude, this is the classiest thing anybody's ever done for me. And I said, come on, dude, you're Grant Cardone. Yeah. But anyway, it was really cool. And he said, if there's ever anything I can do for you and your business and your family, let me know. And I said, actually, there is. And I said, he goes, what? And I go, well, I was Googling sales training and you're nowhere to be found. And Dale Carnegie's number one and he's dead. Grant goes, can I speak freely? What he said? He's like, yeah, and that really pisses me off. And I go, can you fix that? And I go, well, we can meet and talk about, see what you've got going on, And so I worked on his website and did SEO for a couple of years, and we've over the years we became friends. And the guy is unbelievable. It changed me.
The way you went about getting that business, though,
yeah,
is right out of Cardone U.
Yeah,
it's like we drove this summer 300 distressed units that we still haven't locked up. People moved to Florida on us. They're going to quit ignoring us here pretty soon because we're going to drive out there too. Yeah. But they were living in San Francisco, so we drove to San Francisco. Took my family, put them in the truck, drove. Just red eye, suffered right into their winery out in San Francisco. They weren't there. So we took a selfie at their place in front of it that they'd closed down. And they closed it because of COVID. But anyways, took a selfie there, wrote a letter, kind of same thing. Yeah. Picture of the family on there. And we FedEx it to them once a month.
Wow.
Just to follow up.
What's the deal on that? What are you talking?
So we want to buy they've got 300 distressed units. Oh. So the way that opportunity is, right? How often real estate trades depends on a lot. Okay. So, if you end up with a tired landlord, so there's scale. We talked about,
Yep. Yeah, scaling.
People would tell me that my model isn't scalable because I'm dinking and dunking on mobile homes. We also do 20 and 30, 40 unit apartment complexes in rural Texas.
Yeah.
Well, they're not building any more apartments there.
Right.
It's not economical at the build prices today, but during the savings and loans crisis, you could loan yourself money to build apartment complexes. So they built all these massive apartment complexes. And when I say massive, massive for the town.
Yeah, right.
But there's no competition coming.
Right.
They can't build and compete against you. It's right out of Grant Cardone's Bigger Pockets interview where he's like, democratic cities, no competition's coming because the permit process is too hard. Yeah. Well, rural America, you're going to have shrinking inventory of houses because every time somebody's grandma dies, they just destroy the house or, the inventory goes away.
Right.
But there's still jobs there. All those jobs are tied to basic needs, oil, gas, refining, agriculture. So the job base is not going anywhere.
Right.
People still need to live there. They're not going to want to buy a house. They're going to want to be renters. So it's a rental economy. Right. If you can get in there and buy it, you're going to have less competition. And if you get multifamily, you'll have the only multifamily that's ever going to be there outside of Texas changing some law and making it where casinos can go into the smallest town in Texas,
right.
first or something like that. The economy is not going to, it's not going to be like Dallas where they're always going to build a little bit further out and a little bit further out and a little bit further out.
Right.
And add amenities and do all that.
Right.
So you can get locked in and get a lot of good equity on the buy. I found 300 units. So when we talk about scale, doing these 300 units at this point in our journey would be like a double because of where the deferred maintenance is. They got hit by Harvey and they didn't do the repairs.
It's here in Texas?
It's here in Texas.
Okay.
They got hit. They cashed the insurance check and they didn't do the repairs, which tells me they're at the end of their cycle. They don't want to own this much longer.
Wow.
So this is going to be something that's, if they just shut down units that they got paid money for, that tells me they're exhausted with the process.
Isn't that illegal?
No.
Oh, it's
like
not.
you got whole buildings that
Oh,
they just put boards on the windows and called it a day. You know,
wow.
so if I can get in 300 units that are distressed, okay, same thing we talked about with
Yeah.
Longview,
Yeah.
distressed, I can undistress them because that's my skill set. We remodel,
Yeah.
we do the work.
Yeah.
I understand how to do that. But
Yeah.
so when I saw these, I saw the distressed. Obviously, they're clean. All the ones that are operational are clean. Got a pool.
Yeah.
It's 300 units. Nice. But they need all the things. Well, you're in sales. I'm in sales.
Yeah.
First thing I do when I go there is walk in the front door and pretend like I'm there to lease. Well, I don't get serviced properly. You know what I mean? So they have a vacancy problem, but that's a management problem,
Right.
a sales problem,
Yeah.
more than it is anything else. There's spaces there that like common areas in the building, in the leasing office that's like ping pong tables, pool table, the nonsense of years past that now needs to be a co-working space.
Yeah.
It needs to be a place where a single mom can get away from her kids and go down there and plug into the internet. It needs to be a podcasting studio. It needs to
Yeah.
be something more modern
Yeah.
that amenity wise makes sense versus a place for somebody to go play ping pong or whatever. They're just not going to use that. So there's upgrades you can make there to make it more appealing. But then I go do the research on the back end of this property and realize the last time this property changed hands was in late 90s. The last time it was refinanced was 2004.
Wow.
So they have equity. They have a ton of equity.
And you're trying to buy it,
I'm trying to buy it.
and they
or
are
take over management.
responding.
Or take over management.
But they're not responding.
No.
Why?
I don't know.
They're not
Oh,
motivated.
we've tried to. Well, the motivation is something. You know what I mean. But
Yeah.
if it's not costing them any money, it's paying them money every month.
Yeah.
They're probably okay with that. But that doesn't mean that I can't work a deal out because I can give them equity. I can buy it at a discount and give them equity, and you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, you're making 20
Oh,
grand a month.
equity in the what you do.
In
with
what
it.
I do with
Oh.
it. I can give them equity. I can fix.
Well,
I can solve the problem of them wanting a monthly payment every month. You know what I mean? Because
do you know who owns it?
yeah, we drove to their house.
Are they
in San
big?
Francisco.
They big names or?
No. They're just a couple of. There's just a family,
Wow.
and so I mean, this thing probably provides all of their income. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had a winery. They sold it. They probably got a lump sum of capital. Then there's 5 different angles I can sell these people on.
Yeah.
As far as they can be equity partners on deals we do in the future. They can let us do property management and get this thing back to its potential, and then let us be the agents on the exit. We can help them any way they need help. The problem is they don't know who we are. But
okay.
so we drove out there to suffer,
Yeah.
to show them we're willing to suffer,
Yeah.
take the picture, get the marketing material, and stay in the sales process. Now I might have to follow these people up. I might have to follow their kids up after they die. You know what I mean? That just might be how it works. But I'm not going to give up on this deal till I drive by it and see that it's changed hands and, you know what I mean, got better management in place or something of that nature.
There's a way to connect with them. I can help you with that.
Oh, no.
I know I can help you with that.
We will.
I'm
we
positive.
but that's the creative
Yeah.
marketing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You sending the bottles of wine to get
Yeah.
to be able to do grants SEO.
Yeah.
I mean, I relate to that
Yeah.
on a very personal level because whenever you need something or want something or you know need a chance to make it happen, all you need is an opportunity. I drove out there knowing that the answer was going to be no. You don't drive from Texas to San Francisco and expect a yes. But one thing about it, whenever a guy shows up at your winery with his kids in the car, they just
Wow.
and we done been by the Grand Canyon and everything else on the way.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We done been to Death Valley.
Yeah.
We drove up to a sequoia tree. I don't know. Have you ever been to the sequoias?
I've not.
They are, like I thought we were just going to run into a forest of giant trees. No,
I've
there's
heard
just like
that.
one every once in a while. They got a big grove somewhere. We were lost in the mountains of California for. I entered the mountains. It was 2:00 in the afternoon. I came down the mountains at 2:00 in the morning because all the switchbacks. I was worried that we are going to run across Bigfoot. And
It's crazy.
Excuse me. And I left all my guns in Texas because they're illegal in California. You know what I mean? So I was like,
They frown upon
We're going to
them.
run out of fuel. Something bad's going to happen. Anyways, we got to see one big sequoia. Got a picture of my daughter next to it.
Wow.
But all of that's part of the marketing. Hey, look, we did this
Yeah.
to meet you,
Yeah.
to help you solve a problem.
Right.
they might not perceive it as a problem yet, but as that management company runs that thing further into the ground,
Yeah.
eventually they will need good old GBT property management to jump in and help them out. We've got a little TV
So
wall behind you.
you own. I want to stay close to them.
Yeah.
I need. Do you have any water? Anybody have water?
Sohail, you got a
Yeah.
water?
Oh, I'll go get some.
He said,
Okay.
"Uh oh." Did he say, "Uh oh"?
No, we
No.
got. Text Margot.
Yeah.
So if I own property, I can hire you
To do management.
really.
I mean, we can do
You do single family or do you
single family, multifamily,
Do you really?
trailer houses,
Really?
any RV parks,
And it's affordable for an investor to
Oh, yeah.
to hire you.
and we have
Okay.
different packages. So we
That's
got
pretty cool.
we got the there's certain people that only like rent collections. Vacancy loss is going to be your most expensive thing.
Right.
So like if you're an owner and
Yeah.
you're like, I'm going to self manage
Yeah.
not because you're cheap, but because you want control.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that tenant's going to feel leeway with you.
Yeah.
We can step in the middle of that, and now we're management.
Right.
They're still dealing with ownership. They don't know it.
Right.
We're just in the middle of it,
Love it.
and we're collecting the rent and making sure that we're the asshole in that transaction,
Yeah. Not
Not you.
That's brilliant, dude.
and beating on them. But
Yeah.
it's a much smaller percentage. We set you up a owner's
yeah.
portal. You get your own website, you get everything. But you don't have to. You're a small landlord. You can't get the software we got.
Yeah.
They don't make it
Yeah.
available to small landlords. But you get to piggyback on our salt, and it's a very small percentage.
Mm-hmm.
But you still do your work orders. You still do all of your stuff. We just collect the rent for you.
It's brilliant.
And if they don't pay,
Are you doing anything for Grant?
Grant's Class A property. So Grant's
Different.
management looks a lot different. When Grant buys a property, he's got a manager that manages the managers on site,
Okay.
which is if you're in property management, that's the kind of property manager you want to be. You want to manage management.
Right. Right.
Um,
right.
So now, could we do it? We probably could. We're not big enough. I think we manage right now. We're at about 900 doors.
Wow.
So we're not big enough. I mean, Grant one complex that Grant does trumps everything that we do in our own portfolio. But we could add value
Yeah.
to his business in a
Right.
different way. We could go if he's looking to buy a property or something like that,
Yeah.
he would hire somebody like us that knows his sales process, knows what he wants, and then go in and look at every unit. Go in and walk it.
Do
Go
like
in
an
and
inspection.
yes,
kinda.
go and see
Yeah.
what management's like. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
We're very affordable when it comes to that, and we're going to go in and say, hey, look,
Yeah.
you got a manager that's stealing from you.
Yeah.
Like how they're stealing from you. Well, they're not physically stealing from you, but whenever you walk in and say you want a lease and you don't walk out with a lease in your hand,
They're stealing
stole from you.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
so that's that's the kind of stuff that we could do to help somebody like that. But I mean, really and truly, our businesses, we got a flipping business, we got a small education business, never makes money. Just can't focus on that. It takes too much bandwidth for not enough. There's just not enough juice in that squeeze right now. It's like if I can go make $1 million on an apartment complex, I can't necessarily sell education at $1 million clip
right.
to be able to help. It's got to be scale. It's got to be it's got to be the course. You help people build out courses. It's got to be that back end card on you type deal. To where you do it, you shoot it, you add to it when you can, but it's a subscription service. They come and get it as they need it, and then they exit whenever they want to exit.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Slowing down long enough to shoot the content is a big commitment. That if you don't know how to do it, you're not going to make that commitment. It's like you find somebody like you that says, "Hey, look, I've worked with the people that do the courses. I know how to do the courses. I know how to set that up."
Yeah.
You work with a consultant.
No, I do.
You do
I
it.
help.
Yeah.
I set. Yeah.
This is the framework. This is, explain to me what your business is, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
You sit down and do that.
Yeah.
Then you build it on the backside for somebody like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some people,
And just like I don't know real estate.
right.
I've not. Listen, my sister's ex-husband now, but he was my brother-in-law for most of my life. Owns 500 or 700 apartments,
Yeah.
right? And he has single family homes, duplexes, triplexes, complexes, everything. And he served him well. He owns a factory, an airport, 7 airplanes. He's done very, very well. I remember when I was 18, he's like, "Oh, you got to get into this and learn how to do this, and I'll teach you, and you can work with me, and And I was always like, "Man, I don't have an interest, because it's what you're doing is what I don't ever want to have to do.
Right.
I don't want to fix your toilet. Like,
That's right.
you flushed a hairbrush down it, fish that out of there. Why are you calling me?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
Grant talks about that a lot, and it's just, you've got to start where you are, right? And so most people are going to be like, well, I'll get a duplex or a triplex to start out and live in one side
and
of
rent
it,
the other,
which my brother-in-law and sister did.
Yep.
I was there. I mean, I had a bat chasing me around the house one night in their duplex, but that's where they started. You know, that's not something I have ever had an interest in for some reason.
I didn't have an interest in it. Here's how little of an interest I had in it. I worked in the oil field for 13 years.
Okay,
so that's why it's
that's
roughneck
what
to
that
real
is,
estate.
right? Oil rig.
It's an oil rig.
Yeah.
So I worked in the oil field for 13 years. At the end of my oil field journey, when I got laid off in 2015, spring of 2015, I got laid off. I was making $350,000 a year, working 6 months out of the year. You could not. I'd been doing that since I was 23 years old. You couldn't run me off with a shit mop.
Wow.
You just couldn't. You couldn't. You weren't going to change my mind. You weren't going to knock me off of it. You weren't going to. You weren't going to convince me that wasn't the method. My daughter was 1 year old whenever I got laid off. I got laid off, ended up with a custody arrangement with her that it was going to be hard to go back to work. And a friend of mine asked me to start buying real estate. So I was like, okay, I'll help you out. We go to a little meetup, networking event, whatever. They explain it. I was like, look, this is going to be easy. We'll go to the auction. Don't worry about it. Bought a $12,000 house, bought a $27,000 house off of auction.com, and bought a $49,000 house off of Craigslist. Didn't know how to pull a comp, didn't know how to flip a house, didn't know how to rent a house, didn't know how to do anything. The only thing I knew is I had money in the bank.
Wow. And
I was going to unload that money in the bank in the houses, and we're going to see what happens. They worked out, okay, but we built this rental portfolio simply out of the pain and the mistakes, right? So we couldn't sell a house, so we'd rent it out. We couldn't sell a house, we'd rent it out. We couldn't sell a house, we'd rent it out.
Wow.
So our rental portfolio is all of our mistakes. At the beginning, those rent houses were renting for $600 a month. Now they're renting for $1,600 a month. We're talking about houses we paid $12,000 for.
Oh my God.
So it just kind of came over time. But what changed my mind about it was I was in that first house that I bought off of Craigslist, that first little batch of 3. My business partner told me, hey, listen to this podcast, Bigger Pockets, Grant Cardone. And I heard that Louisiana on the podcast.
Yeah.
I heard it. Here we go.
You are a rock star. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So when I heard that Louisiana on the podcast, he said something. I tuned in. I would, if he sounded like New Jersey, I'd have tuned him out.
Yeah.
But he sounded like Louisiana. Now I understand Louisiana because I worked in the oil field.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he said something that stuck with me. My daughter was in the car with me, and he said, I can die. That real estate's going to pay my kids.
Yeah.
And at that moment in time, I was like, all the risky things I'd done in my life. I'd done
oil
a lot of
rigs
risky, risky business.
Yeah.
If I'd left the world, that little girl would have been, she would have already been without a dad if I left the world. But now she would be without any means as well.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to leave this world without my daughter having means.
Yeah.
And when she's 18, she's going to be broke all over again. But in between now and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
She'll have everything that's at my disposal. And if I perish today on my drive home, it's going to continue. Those tenants will still pay.
Wow.
For the next, she's 9 now.
Yeah.
So they'll pay for the next 9 years. We hope. You know what I mean?
Minimum.
I
mean, they're that's the other thing. You're right, and I agree with it, man. I it's just something I've never. You know how you're always busy doing your thing, and then you have customers or clients
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, and then you got to help them, and it's like, oh, I got this other thing to learn.
Oh, I know.
And it's
I
like
know.
I've paid for Cardone University since 2014. Like I've had
Yeah.
it for a long time.
Long time.
I can't even tell you when the last time was I logged into it.
Well, we were just having that discussion on the Different Generations podcast that Braxton does with me.
It's crazy.
You know, he logs into it every day. Brenton logs into it every
Yeah.
day, but I'm slacking.
No, man, I get it.
But the thing I got Closer Survival Guide,
yeah,
and I listen to the closes,
yeah,
and I always pick something up
Yeah.
in the closes. You know, I'm all that. But now we've molested the Cardone U because
Yeah.
we're trying to buy houses.
yeah,
So we're taking the closes. It's kind of it's the same thing, but you gotta reverse them around. You
yeah.
know what
Right,
I mean?
right.
So we're in the exact same boat. You know,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I as far as learning something new, we learned all this the hard way.
yeah,
We haven't made it. We the people that are bigger than us,
yeah,
we look up to them. We pick up pieces of their game.
yeah.
But there's not one of those people that I want to be or want to trade places with.
Right, right.
We're now using all family money,
Yeah.
all friends money. We now have probably 20 full-time employees.
That's awesome, man. Wow.
It's like people are like, what are you afraid of? I'm like, man, I'm not afraid of anything.
Yeah.
I think that property management's bulletproof in any economy,
Yeah.
but it would terrify me to have to lay somebody off. I would never, like, it's happened to me twice in my oil field career.
It's
I got laid off.
devastating.
And the second time I wanted it, you know, but I thought a job would be easier to get 6 months later. I thought I was going to take 6 months off and just call them up and go
Yeah,
back to work.
yeah.
You know, it didn't happen that way. So knowing that, it's like, why do you, like, I live very conservatively and I'm okay with it. I shoot a pig when I need a pig. I shoot a deer when I need a deer.
Wow.
Travel when I need to travel. Do this every week, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm not no material thing on earth could tempt me, but I will show up every day and fight for those employees and fight for the people that have invested their money with us,
Yeah.
the family and friends money that we are investing in real estate,
That's awesome.
to
Dude.
keep their return up and going. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. That's awesome.
but with you, I mean, you've done a lot of different businesses.
Yeah.
You're way ahead of me in the game. You're
Not in real estate.
yeah, but in business in general. I mean,
Yeah,
building out a business, running a business,
Yeah.
your online stuff, your daily lives that you do. Nobody knows, like, only people that have sat where I'm sitting in something like this know how committed you have to be to go do a live every single day.
Yeah.
That's an amazing commitment. You said you did 500 lives.
No, I've interviewed on Breakthrough Walls, my podcast. It's a live show.
Yeah, it's a live show.
On 10 different platforms simultaneously at the same time. And I've interviewed over 500 celebrities and entrepreneurs. Yeah. You're going to be a guest on there.
I can't wait. We can't wait.
I'm gonna force you into that.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. But so I've done over 4,000 live streams.
4,000.
Yeah.
And live streams weren't even a thing till, like, what, 2016?
14.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 14. Periscope and Meerkat. Remember
I
Meerkat?
don't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't.
So that's where it started. And then Twitter bought Periscope, and Facebook came out. I was a judge at a video conference in San Diego. I was invited to be a judge, and Randy Zuckerberg was there.
The sister of Mark.
Yes, and she's funnier than hell.
Keep going.
Okay, and so she spoke at this conference, and she invented Facebook Live. It was her idea.
Really?
And she implemented it into Facebook. She's the very first person ever to go live on Facebook. And she tells this funny ass story. She says, so there I was. I went into a closet at Facebook like, I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a live as my hair. And, you know, she said, and I knew that the whole world was going to join my live stream, and they were going to get to know Randy Zuckerberg. I'm the Zuckerberg that actually graduated from Harvard, and because Mark quit, and she said, I do this, I get it ready, and we're live, and she goes, and 2 people showed up. She's like, wah wah, and she's like, it was my mom and dad, and that was it. Like, there was nobody else. So and true. So you know, when I had Grant on, it's a long story, I can't disclose everything, but I got an anonymous text message saying that, you know, Mr. Cardone is a huge fan of yours. I'm sure he would want you to know about this. This situation with the Undercover Billionaire thing. It was the day after he finished filming Undercover Billionaire. Okay. And I said, okay, anonymous. And it wasn't Grant. I have Grant's cell phone number. Yeah. It wasn't him. It was somebody else. I don't know who. But anyway, the next night I get Grant on a live stream with me to talk about, you know, I'm like, dude, you're the next Undercover Billionaire. It was just in the Pueblo freaking newspaper. Yeah. And he's like, I can't confirm nor deny. Yeah. It was funny, but
you know what's funny? I knew something was up with Grant.
Yeah, so did I. I didn't know what.
Because the content that he was posting on his social that was new was all recycled content. And I was like, my bro has disappeared, because at that time period,
yeah,
you know, you're an entrepreneur going through COVID in real estate. You're looking to what the person that's doing COVID in real estate is doing. So I was actively searching him out on Facebook and Instagram and everything to see what he was saying about it.
It was all old shit.
It was all old shit. And all of a sudden he pops back up for a little while, and then disappears again.
And so his head was shaved, remember?
His head was shaved.
So he talked about that in that 30-minute interview I did with him. And he said, you know, I said, Grant, what's the number one thing you would number one piece of advice you'd give any entrepreneur right now, what they could be doing to move the needle? And he said, what you're doing.
Go live
right now,
every day.
You got to go live. You got to figure this shit out. He said, it really sucks when only 2 people show up. And he literally said that in the beginning. You know, now, look, man, if I go live, and I go live almost every day, it used to be every day. And when I first started my show, my podcast, I needed to get attention. I remember I used to have a show on Grant Cardone TV where I interviewed Grant and a bunch of other people. And then I just cut it, and some other thing. I made some bad business decisions, but you know, we all do, and you recover. But so, you know, I remember when I started my show, and I told my wife, I'm going to start a freaking show. And she goes, all right, what are you going to do? And I go, well, we got to get attention. So I'm just going to interview people and have them tell their life story. Yeah. And she's like, cool, what are you going to call it? And I go, I don't know, Getting Unstuck. And she goes, why wouldn't you use your last name and call it Breakthrough Walls? And I go, that's a good idea. So that's where it all started, man. And I decided the first year, no matter what, I'm not going to not do the show. If I have a guest that cancels at the last minute, anything, it does not matter to me. I'll call the freaking high school janitor. I don't care. Somebody's going to be on my show. And nothing against high school janitors, by the way. But like, and
I am a high school janitor, by the way.
Are you?
I'm playing, but I mean, I will be. I will be when my daughter's in high school. You better believe I'm gonna be there mopping them halls. Like, why are you here, Dad? I'll be like, I'm just here.
I needed a job, honey.
Yeah, I clean these floors, and she's like, you've been cleaning the floor in front of my locker for a while. That's right.
Yeah.
You remember, I'm here.
I have 2 daughters. I get it, man. So, you know, I think that, so that's it, man. You gotta go live. You got live. And let me give you an example.
Okay.
People don't get this, and hopefully this gets through to some people. If I worked, let's say that I came to you and I said, dude, ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, they all reached out to me and wanted me to come talk to you. I guess they love your content so much that they want you to run ads on all the networks. Anytime you want, by the way, you just push a button and you can run an ad on any of the networks locally. And the cost to you is it's free. Would you say no to them?
No, I'd run ads.
Of course. And if any business owner would do, or either that or they'd win the dumbest business owner of the year award. But yet people ignore Facebook Live. They ignore YouTube Live. They ignore LinkedIn Live. They ignore Twitter Live. They ignore all these platforms. Hell, Twitch. I go live on Twitch once in a while, and it's a gamer's platform. Like, stop ignoring the avenues that are out there to get attention. Like Grant says it, money follows attention.
That's
Gary V follows me on Twitter. Freaking Mark Cuban has retweeted me. Why? Because I'm loud as shit. Why do you think Grant or whoever anonymous was reached out to me to make sure that Discovery Channel released Undercover Billionaire? They wanted to release it a year later. Grant's like, no, you guys are crazy. This needs to go out now. I started tagging the shit out of Discovery Channel on every social media platform. And Anonymous knew that I had a big mouth and I would go out there and make a bunch of noise and get the attention of the executives at the network. You've got to get attention.
Got to.
You got to get attention. If you're not getting attention,
nothing else
the
matters.
freaking point?
Well, that's how me and you met.
That's how, yeah.
And Randy Zuckerberg, the reason why I pointed at this cup,
Yeah.
where we're at right now, Randy Zuckerberg offered a, I think it was a year-long mastermind or some sort of mastermind.
Yeah.
And it was like $1,000 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Only 9 people joined. He was one of 9. Would fly to New York, stay in New York, and mastermind with those 10 people or whatever it was.
At her apartment in New York?
I guess. He'll have to tell you about it. He'll tell you the cost, but I know it wasn't a lot because Brian's cheap. So,
holy crap.
But yeah.
She's amazing.
So he joined. That's how I knew whenever he said Randy Zuckerberg, that's how I knew it was Mark's sister because he was in her mastermind. So that was, but you do have to get attention. Facebook.
Then he knows Tamara Thompson probably.
Probably. When Facebook gave Grant the ability to go live, I would watch. That's probably how we met.
Yeah.
In the comment section, probably talking shit.
Yeah.
But either way, I would consume that content. I would watch it. I would interact with Grant, talk back and forth.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of people on then.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, he wasn't, he had maybe 100,000 followers at that point in time.
Yeah.
But either way, I was there. And I guess Facebook knew I was watching, so they gave me live.
Yeah.
It just showed up on my phone one day.
Yeah.
So I was the only one for 6 months that could go live in the real estate space.
Wow.
And so I was going live walking properties, right? And
brilliant.
There was 20 people watching. I can't get 20 people to tune in for nothing now, but 20 people would tune in because it was brand new. They didn't know what it was. They're like, it would give them a notification, Corey's live. And they'd be like, what's live? And so I'd have 20 people watching me walk these properties.
Right.
And then they would share it. And then that's how I got traction on everything. And one day I was doing a live stream, and this is why I started a Facebook group to move my lives into that Facebook group because I was working pre-foreclosures. And I'm at a pre-foreclosure. I'm live in my car.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the way that I found the pre-foreclosure, this and that. And normally whenever I get there, they're already vacant or there's some sign of distress, but this was a very wealthy neighborhood, very nice house.
Yeah.
And it was confusing to me why they were in pre-foreclosure and hadn't just sold their house because they would have been able to sell quick neighborhood. And I'm talking about that on the live, and a school bus pulls up and I flip the camera around and I'm like, oh shit. I'd put a letter in the mailbox while I was there, hand delivered a letter. And so I'm watching this child, girl, probably teenager, get my letter out of the mailbox, and I'm commenting on it, right? Mm-hmm. And all it said was, I can stop your foreclosure, have my phone number. I'm on the live. The lady gets my letter, searches my phone number on Facebook. I'm live in front of her house, debating about why she might be going through foreclosure
Oh my God.
on live. And she starts just wrecking me in the comments section. If you videoed my daughter, blah, 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 blah. I was like, I felt this big. Anyways,
Oh God.
in live, boom, off there. Delete it,
video.
delete
Yeah.
it. It's done. It's
Yeah.
toast. And she calls me immediately, and she's like, "You blah blah blah, talking about whether or not I'm going through divorce or not. You don't know anything about my life, and I'm feeling pretty bad."
Yeah.
So I just take my ass chewing and move on.
Wow.
And I started a Facebook group. I went to a deal out in Arizona, and they were talking about Facebook groups. I was like, "That's where I can go live at. I'll go live inside the Facebook group." So I started a Facebook group. Amassed a following in there, and that's where I would do my lives. But it's funny that, it's like the unintended consequences. I'd gathered up what I felt like was a big following on Facebook, and then couldn't even talk to him anymore because, well, I could, but in certain manners, when you're talking about different strategies and different things that are business related, but then the people that I'm marketing to are, they need to sell a house, and they go find me. I'm like, I can't go onto the public forum of Facebook and say, I just made $100,000.
Yeah, but you can, you can still use it.
Oh, I do. I still do.
Yeah. Okay.
In a different manner.
I was going to say, just being careful what you disclose.
Being very careful.
Yeah,
but it's those weird lessons. But I was like, man,
you never would have thought of that though.
But what you say is true. It's a great tool, and look at how attention works. I mean, look at what the first thing that person did. Yeah. When all they had was my phone number. They went to the largest social media platform on earth and typed it in, and it came up. Guess what was the first thing to go off of? I was like, nope, phone number's getting out of this software.
Oh, geez.
I changed the phone number. I was like, yeah, because I was, and then,
I get
and now
it.
we use CRMs to where the number that going out on marketing isn't my personal cell, but this is the early days of like door knocking, and I would never leave a letter at somebody's house. Yeah, I'd put a letter in the mailbox if they were home. I put a letter in the mailbox, but if they weren't home, I'd put a FedEx folder on their front door. Yeah, FedEx folders are free. You get as many of them as you want. Right, but they're not going to open or a door hanger. Competition's going to come rip it off.
The FedEx envelope. That's
the
brilliant.
FedEx envelope is going to get opened.
Craig Duswalt, my partner, I got to tell you one of his marketing secrets. You want to hear it? Mm-hmm. Whenever he wants to get somebody to call him that won't return his call, he gets an envelope, puts their address and all that. Up here, he puts his name, his phone number on the underneath it, his real cell phone number. Yeah. Seals it, puts a stamp on it, sends it.
Nothing on the inside?
Nothing. If you get an envelope with nothing in it, handwritten out, and you see a name and a phone number, like, what? Are you going to call the phone number?
Hell yes.
Yeah, you're going to call the phone number.
I'm going to use that on my people.
And you're going to go, hey, I got this envelope that what's this about? You could even put something like RSVP, please, or something, but it works. People call, and one of two things happens. They go, hey, I got this. Yeah, hey, I've been trying to get a hold of you, but you SOB, and they get mad at you, and you're like, hey, dude, you called me. Why are you getting mad?
It's so funny. We do. All we do is really direct mail now for our marketing for buying houses. Yeah. The people that call you and yell at you over a postcard that says nothing. It's just a postcard. Crazy. Like I'm like, who takes time out of their day? I'm like, put that in the follow up. There's something there.
Yeah,
there's something.
If there's an emotion there, there's something.
There's something there. Yeah. Put that in the follow up. That one's a little longer timeline. Touch them in 3 months. Yeah. You know what I mean? But put a follow up on them. Yeah. We have they call in. It sends an auto text response. Hey, I'm on another line. So we're not getting beat up with angry calls. Anyways, we'll know the line. What's the address of the property you need to sell? And then it tags, our CRM tags them, so it starts a follow-up. So it'll be like, if they don't respond to that text message, it'll text them back the next day. And so the first week they're getting a daily text message, and then as it goes on, it just a week apart, 2 weeks apart, and then a month apart. But at the end, it's just sending emojis. Wow. And the eyeball emoji. Yeah. So the follow-up that it sends is like, hey, when do you have time to get on the call? Yeah. Hey, do you have you have any time today to jump on a call?
Yeah.
Something that if we miss a tag, if we actually got it under contract
Yeah.
and actually got a deal formed,
Yeah.
that at that moment it won't scare them off.
Got it.
You know, so
Yeah.
if the girl that's, Ashley, thank you, Ashley, if you watch, by the way, for being such an awesome VA up in Oklahoma. But anyway,
job,
if she misses one on the tag, it won't scare them off or make them think something's going on,
Right.
or any of that. But anyways, at the end, it's emojis, and so like at the very end, it's a pregnant emoji. I swear to God, I'll show it to you on my phone.
How do you get what's a pregnant emoji?
There's an emoji that's a pregnant lady on your phone.
Come on.
I swear to God.
Can I look?
Yeah.
Am I allowed to look right now?
Yeah. So, anyways,
Well,
I got a text message over the holidays. It's gonna. We probably shouldn't even laugh at it, but it's pretty funny. So this person texts our deal and was like, "Why the fuck are you texting my mom pregnant emojis?"
Nuh-uh.
I swear to God.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, we're deep in the follow up on that one." Like,
I don't see a pregnant emoji.
it's in the women's section. It's right there.
Oh my God. You got to be kidding me.
That's Corey's favorite.
It's my favorite emoji. It's the get her done emoji. It's the get her done emoji.
God. That is hilarious, dude. Wow, they even have different color hair and everything. So that's brilliant, dude.
So yeah, but some dude is big mad at us that we text his mom a pregnant emoji. They're probably all sitting there at Thanksgiving and it just hits the follow up. What the fuck? What's going on?
But
here, Mom?
here's the thing. It's doing stuff like that. It's getting on a plane and flying a couple of bottles of wine to Grant Cardone. Don't everybody do that. That it won't work. You wouldn't even believe how many people tried to copy me after that, like trying to
I
get
don't
on
know,
Grant.
Grant. Hey, Grant taught that. So
I know he
when
taught it, but
happens,
now
Well, you won't-
it's different now.
Well, at his office now, you won't.
Yeah,
You
can't get no.
Yeah, his receptionist will appreciate the wine.
Yes.
She will appreciate it.
It's, I've sent pizzas, like multiple pizzas to his entire office.
Yeah.
I've sent the edible arrangements, the big giant. Matter of fact, he did a live stream with my edible arrangement one time as him and Jared were getting on his jet to go somewhere. And Grant's like grabbing some that I had just sent to his office. So like you've got to, and again, you got to invest in it. Like I spent a couple $1,000s on that whole wine bottle trip, sending my assistant and the ticket. I mean, I got a ticket 2 hours before the flight. It was expensive, and all of this, the hotels and I didn't have the money. I literally did.
It's an investment.
But I didn't have the credit cards. I had just enough money in the bank to cover all that. And I thought,
it's an investment. Though. It's going to come back.
Just hell with it. I don't. It'll come back somehow. I don't know how, but it'll come back. And so many people live in fear. My buddy Rami El Batrawi is a billionaire. Owns the largest wide-body private jet in the world. Wide body private jet. It has a master bedroom in it. It has a shower, a kitchen, a dining room.
I'm going to Google that.
Look it up.
No. I want to know what a wide, because when I think of wide body, I'm thinking like a donk. You're not from Texas, so you don't know what a donk is.
I don't know what a donk is.
I'm thinking like a truck.
Yeah,
With the hips in the back.
Yeah,
but then they stretch it.
Yeah.
And they add
more.
They make it like a SUV.
Yeah.
Dually.
I'll show you his plane, but it's there you go. There you go. That's
amazing.
So Ramey wrote a book called "Can You Really Think and Grow Rich?" And I've been to his house in Hollywood Hills. His neighbor's Tim Allen from.
I know. Tim. I'm surprised he still lives there, but
you can throw a rock and hit his roof. From Ramey's front yard. It's crazy because it's in the hills, so everything's stacked. But anyway, Ramey talks about that, how people are just afraid. They live in all these fears, and I've been there. We've all had. You think about your daughter. You think about you immediately fears. Why do you think you're going to mop the floor in front of her locker? the fear of shit going sideways in her life, right? And I can relate. Trust me.
There's some boys.
Like I know what you're thinking. So, but he talks about like he has no fear. Ramey has zero fear. You ever heard of Carl Icahn?
Mm-mm.
Carl Icahn is known for being a raider of companies. Like he finds
Corporate raider.
He finds companies that are in trouble, distressed, and then he does a hostile takeover worth billions and billions. Ramey actually showed up to Carl Icahn's hotel room and somehow got in, and Carl's like, "Get the fuck out of here, or I'm having you arrested." And he's like, "You're not going to have me arrested. I'm here to help you." And he's like, "I'm going to have you arrested." This is a billionaire. Before Ramey was a billionaire, he wasn't a billionaire. He was a freaking guy trying to come up, and he shows up at Carl Icahn's hotel room
to get a deal done.
To get a deal done, and to get to know him, and he's like, "Get out of here! I'm going to have you arrested." And no, you're not. You're not going to have me arrested. No, like just all of the things that he's done, where he doesn't have those fears at all.
Well, what you working on, Sohail? Oh,
so do I. Pretty soon.
Well,
pretty soon.
I mean, we can cut this down. Well, no. We'll actually, we'll wrap up. So,
oh, you're gonna edit this?
Yeah, no, he'll edit. Yeah, he'll edit this.
Oh, good.
So
I could vape.
I'll
be right back.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I better get up here.
Yeah. Well, being unreasonable is the biggest part of what Grant teaches. So you did what he taught.
Yeah, I still do.
People that show up. I mean, we can wrap this thing up. We've been, what is it, 2 hours? We've probably been going for a while.
So not quite 2 hours,
but your commitment to the live streams, the businesses that you've been involved with.
Yeah.
Whether somebody needs a website,
training, book, digital business card, which I reinvented. It's better than anything else on the market, period.
I mean, whatever they need, you can help them out with.
Technology and
where can they go to find you?
KenWalls.com. KensBizCard.com is honestly like my phone number, my real cell phone. Like you can, it's an Easter egg. It's hidden. You can find it. It's on my digital business card.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we're gonna wrap this up, man. Follow him, Facebook.
Thank you. Yeah.
Twitter, Ken Walls.
Everywhere. Instagram.
There's
now. There is so I'm verified on Facebook.
Okay.
Facebook reached out to me and said they wanted to verify me because of the number of times I've gone live. They consider
4,000.
me a media personality now.
That's good.
It's crazy. So I have a fan page with 75,000 followers there.
Okay.
I have my public page that's verified. But there are on Instagram and Facebook. If you look up Ken Walls, there are so many fake profiles.
I actually sent you one time.
Oh, did you?
In our previous messages, I went back and looked. I was like, before I messaged you to come on here, the only time I'd ever messaged you was so somebody was pretending to be you. I was like, hey, bro.
They're like, and Facebook and Instagram doesn't delete them. 50+% they don't even delete.
They don't? No, you report
crazy.
them, and I've not made it to that level yet. Nobody's trying to pretend to be me. So
yeah, well, I called the FBI.
They don't care.
It's not they don't care. They don't have the bandwidth.
Oh no,
they get over 1,000 in the Cincinnati, Ohio office. Over 1,000 calls a day about fraudulent, scams and stuff from fake profiles. It's nuts.
In property management, we're in there thick. It's fun. We got a scammer. We got a scammer. I finally got him to crack. He lives in Maryland. He sounded like he was from Nigeria. I call him. He's in my follow-up. So Thanksgiving morning, I mean, because he's a real piece of work.
Yeah.
He goes on to our property management website and pretends like he's going to rent, and then tries to rent our property to other people. So he steals our pictures, puts them on Craigslist and Facebook, sends them by the property. And if he can't get a code to get in, he will have them break into the property. So we got people breaking into our properties to move in that paid $100 deposit and $200 a month rent on Cash App to some dude.
Oh my God.
And you'd think if they're in Nigeria, they would be rich. But either way,
wow.
I've called this guy and cussed him out so many times. We could probably do it right now. That we have a bunch of phone numbers we call him from. And so I called him to wish him a happy Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving morning when I was waiting. Everybody was still asleep. And I was waiting for the turkey to get ready. So I called him to wish him a happy Thanksgiving. He calls himself Dr. Edwards. And I was like, Dr. Edwards? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, happy Thanksgiving, Dr. Edwards. And he's like, happy Thanksgiving to you. And I was like, fuck you, you scammy piece of shit. And you live in Nigeria. You ain't got no damn Thanksgiving. And he goes, I live in Maryland, you pussy. And he hung up on me.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Swear to God.
Does he really live in Maryland?
Yes. I got him to crack. So now I'm like, okay. So now I know you live in Maryland. We're going to have some real problems for you. So we're going to be hot on this guy's trail. It might be a whole series of us just calling Dr. But the best part about it is our CRM records these calls. So somewhere I have that call.
That's awesome, dude.
I'm going to make a whole series of us calling scammers.
These scam. I've had women reach out to me like, aha, I caught you. And I'm like, caught me what? And they're like, you're married and you said you weren't. I'm like, you were talking to a scammer.
Yeah.
And I've had women. I had this one woman, dude, her 90-year-old mother sent her life savings to a scammer.
Dude, these people are
it's crazy.
The internet scams like are real life. So when you're looking for Ken, all he's saying is he's verified. If there's no blue check,
I'm not verified on Instagram, but I have 14,000 followers there. But yeah.
Make sure you're dealing with the real guy. Twitter, I'm verified on Twitter. I paid my $8.
Are you?
Well, I mean, Elon opened it up.
Is it open?
He closed it down, but
did you get in?
I got in while it was open.
So you got verified.
I got my $8 in and got a blue check.
I want a freaking blue check mark on Twitter.
It was there for a minute.
I didn't know it was there.
A short window.
Damn.
And but I just started I started my Twitter forever ago, but never did anything with it. I just got involved when Elon.
Thank God he bought it. Way to go, Elon.
Appreciate that. I talk on there all the time now. It's a weird place. It's a weird place.
It's very weird, man.
It's hard to get traction. I don't know why it shows me the people it shows me on my feed. I'm like, I don't follow any of these people, but they're good folks. I enjoy them.
I'm verified on Amazon.
I didn't even know Amazon was.
I'm an Amazon influencer.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that even possible?
It's hard. I don't know, man. They reached out to me. That's another thing, dude. They reached out to me and
do you have Amazon stored? What do you do on Amazon?
Yeah. Go to kenwalls.shop.
Really?
It goes to my Amazon. I have it redirected to my Amazon store where, let's say that you sold coffee mugs that you made them, and you're like, yeah, I got my coffee mug on Amazon. Oh, okay. I'll put it in my store and sell it from there for you too. And then Amazon pays me a little tiny commission.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's what Ryan does too. I think Ryan has.
He could be is he an
affiliate links?
Affiliate, yeah. He's an affiliate. So it's the same thing except for I'm an influencer and they pay me a little better.
That's good. I'm gonna do. I don't shop on Amazon much, but
I do. Yeah.
When I do, it's buying energy drinks to be delivered to the office. So I'm gonna.
So like these lights and look right there, he's got it pulled up. I can if you go to there's the Oculus.
There's a badass camera.
There's the Oculus, yeah. There's if you look at where's live streaming, I can't see.
It's virtual reality
right there. So I've got all kinds of stuff in there for live streaming and electronics, and there's an Apple mouse, and because everybody needs one of those. There's some umbrella lights, a green screen. I actually own those umbrella lights and that pop-up green screen. I use it every day. That green screen. So yeah, I put stuff on there and people go buy it and then Amazon gives, and it's the same price. It's not like they're going, oh well, we got to pay Ken commission, so let's raise the price. it's the same price as you.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
I haven't been in there in a minute, but I put so really famous authors, not all really famous, but I authors that are maybe on my show that
Put
like
their books on there.
Zig Ziglar is his kids live here in Dallas.
Really?
They're all friends of mine, and they've all like two of them, Julie and Tom, have both been on my show. But Tom is the CEO of Zig Ziglar Corporation, and he's a buddy of mine. I did an Amazon Live. Me and Jocko Willink and Martha Stewart and some other people are authorized to go live on Amazon directly.
Really?
And I'm one of them. Yeah, I can go live on Amazon. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
You can go to
Follow him. See what happens.
kenwallslive.com, I think.
No, down.
Ken Walls. Yeah, follow me. Yeah, follow me.
Amazon influencer.
Oh, you
got to
log
sign in.
Go ahead.
Damn.
What's your password?
have Ryan
Tell us your
follow
password. I'm kidding.
Yeah, have Ryan follow him.
Yeah. But if you go, I think it's kenwallslive.com. I got so many URLs. That's another obsession of mine.
Oh,
Yeah, but Ken Wall, yeah, there's Steve Sims. You may
I know Steve.
Steve's a good friend of mine. Love that dude. There's Fab Mancini down there.
Is he?
Dr. John Gray.
he's how I knew you moved to Dallas.
Steve is looking at. He was talking about. So he just did a post the other day. I said, "Bro, I just moved to Dallas. Are you?"
That's where I saw it.
Oh, did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
I think he's looking at Austin.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's better in California. He's in
Look,
California.
I mean,
now.
look, I know, it don't matter where he moves in Texas. Where I live is in the middle of everywhere.
Is it?
Anywhere I want to go when I'm booking flights,
Where do you fly out of?
anywhere in Texas.
Where
I want.
do you live? Where is it?
Groesbeck. It's in the middle of the triangle of Texas. So it's if
Houston,
I go to
Austin,
Houston,
and Dallas?
Austin, and Dallas.
Okay.
Actually, San Antonio being the
Oh.
third one. So I'm really close to Austin. So like Austin, hour and a half. Dallas, hour and a half.
So you're an hour and a half from here right now?
Hour and a half from
Okay.
here. Houston, 2.5.
Wow.
San Antonio, 3. Which people are like, that's crazy. I'm like, dude, I'm telling you right now, like we do a weekly live State of the Union for real estate.
Should do it daily.
Well, only come in studio.
Daily.
Do need to do daily. I go live daily. I go live
Oh, do
daily.
you?
But
Good.
I don't. I only do so I go live at properties. So when I'm out and about doing my daily
Yeah.
stuff, I do lives.
Yeah.
But the State of the Union,
Look, he's got.
yeah, that's
Oh.
it. So Austin, Houston, Dallas,
Yeah.
and then San Antonio is just a little blip down there.
So you're way closer to Dallas.
It's relative.
Is it?
It's really not. I mean, Houston's the hardest one because Houston's an hour from Houston.
Yeah, I've been.
So
I've got friends down there.
I mean, Houston's just a massive,
It's huge.
flat bit of nonsense. I mean,
It's huge.
so on Thanksgiving, the night before Thanksgiving, Braxton did he do 400 miles or 380?
Yeah, 380.
380.
Of what?
He drove 380 miles, slamming signs that say "I buy houses."
Oh my!
It's a Thanksgiving tradition because it's the most traveled holiday. So the night,
You do them on the interstates?
yeah, the cities pull them up, but everybody's off work, so it stays. You get all the way till yesterday until the cities pull them up. So yeah, he did 400 miles, and one night have you been to Buc-ee's yet?
I love Buc-ee's. Like
So we did
17 minutes from Buc-ee's.
We did every Buc-ee's in the state of Texas. Signs
Wow.
at their exits.
Wow.
So, but
Do those work? I guess
Yeah.
they must.
oh yeah,
You wouldn't
oh,
do
yeah.
them.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
And so we had 2 crews. Braxton was the south crew. Brenton was the north crew, and they both did 400 miles. So
I'm in Salina. You know where Salina is?
I know a lot about Salina. Salina's been really good at football for our
love
whole entire life.
Dude, Salina is so freaking cool. Like it's just a great.
Dude, it's a great deal. So that's what Bandit Signs are. That's a for rent Bandit sign.
Okay.
So when we're doing those for rent Bandit signs, people are like, "Man, that's crazy. Why would you do that?" And I'm like, "Because you won't."
That's right.
know, it's
That's
like-
nice. Who's doing your production, video production?
These guys here.
It's awesome, dude.
So we're
Good
out
job.
that day. Paul was with us, and we did those signs. And the funny part, you're asking if they work. We're getting asked questions about like as we're putting them out, people are stopping us and it's like, hey, where's that house?
Wow.
Doing bandit signs for rent houses is really aggressive, by the way. It's super aggressive.
What do you mean it's aggressive?
Well, it's easy to rent a house,
Yeah.
and easy being a relative term.
Yeah, right.
See, she's asking where the house is. She just saw me put the sign out.
Yeah.
I don't know, like 11, 12, maybe $1,200 right down the road here. If you call the number, they'll give you the info. All right, thank you. People like, does it work? Hell yeah, it works. We already got back in the truck.
And I just asked you.
Well, I mean, for real, but like people are like,
Right down the road.
you,
Take a picture of it.
But okay,
Call the number.
hang
I
on.
got
So
about
what? How does that turn into buying houses?
well, this is renting houses.
Oh,
so this is
okay.
just one phase of the business.
Oh, got
so
it.
when
Okay.
we buying houses isn't hard right now. You can buy any house you want.
Okay.
Big discount.
Yeah.
Any house you want. Did you buy when you moved down here?
No, we're renting.
Okay, so
I own my house in Ohio still, but
so
I decided I wanted to rent till I get to know the area.
That's
and
fine.
Where we want to.
when you get ready to buy, if you're going to buy a house,
Yeah.
we can buy one probably 50 cents on the dollar.
The house I want.
The house you want should be 50 cents on the dollar.
Now, I have a wife and kids and all that.
This is true.
So there's some emotion.
But within a box, within a farm area of marketing, we should be able to get you within the square footage because we'll only market to those size houses. And then if we make equity a priority,
Yeah.
right, then with the 20%,
Mm-hmm.
you can make that house whatever you want. So size and location and all that will be relative, but we can make the inside and outside whatever you want.
Dude, that's
And you'll
freaking
still be
awesome.
completely under leveraged and have equity from day one. Equity you negotiated, not equity you paid for.
Wow.
So that's the key
That's awesome.
to what our business is negotiating equity, finding equity where otherwise there wouldn't be. Because
But
if
in
I go
Salina, in an area that's exploding in growth.
yes,
Really?
because there's going to be a house there. There's going to be a house there that the people are embarrassed to clean up. They don't want to clean it. They don't want to do it. They're hoarding. There's going to be some circumstance that they don't want
And
to
that's
deal
what
with.
you go out and find.
And we will find that person that just wants to sell as is.
Wow.
That if they could, I've been in some really bad houses, but they could clean them up or remodel them or do whatever and get full market dollar. But they're not going to do that. They're going to want to fire sell it, and then we come in before we bring the women in. We come in, we get it where they can see the potential, and that's key.
Yeah.
And we say, hey, look, for $20 a square foot, what you're talking about wanting, pool and all,
Yeah.
exists.
$20 a square foot.
Well, for the remodel, you get what
Because
I mean.
up there, I think they're getting like couple hundred to
Couple $100 a square foot, but just cut that in half, and that's where we're aiming
No
to get you
way.
into a property. And then
Hold it. Do you help people then do that?
no, I do that for myself and my friends,
Oh,
like for
I
you.
got you.
But that like you're talking about getting.
But that could be another business.
No, it takes too much effort to do
Oh,
it
got it.
on a single basis. I mean,
Oh.
it's like if we were trying to do that, you'd pull all your hair out. It just,
Yeah.
But we do that. I mean, we bought a house. We
That's crazy.
We bought a house, 140,000 on 5 acres.
What?
Yeah, just south of Fort Worth, and sold it for 200 and dusted it off. Gave it a light dusting. Now that's not a great example.
So that's 60 grand.
We
right?
bought one in Granbury for 110. 110. Sold it.
Did you dust it?
We dusted it. We sold it for 260. They had an inside pig. A pig,
Is that
pet
bad?
pig that lived inside the house.
Is that bad?
Yeah.
Oh,
it chewed the sheetrock and everything. So we did
I don't know anything
we
about
fi-
pigs.
Yeah, it wasn't a good situation, but we bought it for 110.
Wow.
Sold it for 260, and then that person that bought it from us remodeled it and sold it for 770. So
Good
even us
Lord.
being in real estate every day, we missed. We
You
were
made
like, We
whatever, and
yeah,
then
we
they
made-
came in and made half a million.
They did all right. They did all right. They
That's crazy.
so
Wow.
But they were in an appreciating market. It's a little different
yeah,
market now.
yeah. The
but
market fluctuates, though.
it does.
I mean,
but I never. They realized that house being on the lake,
yeah,
you could name your price. It's like Priceline. You name their price.
yeah.
And I thought, well, the stuff that sold last year on the lake only sold for $300 or $400.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
anyways, but they did
Wow.
what they needed to do. But yeah, Ken, they can find you Facebook, Amazon, Instagram.
Amazon. Just go to
Twitter.
kenwalls.com or kensbizcard.com and
Okay.
everything's linked from there.
Okay.
Everything.
Man, it's been real fun. Glad to
Dude.
meet you.
Yeah. My pleasure.
This has been fun. We'll have to do it more often.
Yeah.
And yeah,
You come to Salina.
I'll definitely come to Solana. This is Corey Thompson with the Roughneck Real Estate Podcast. It's me and Ken Walls today talking everything Grant Cardone, writing books, entrepreneurship, websites, you name it. We're talking about it. We both had a long time in between the time we met online and meeting in person. You don't want to miss this, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, all the things. Look forward to hearing y'all's opinions about this one.